Welcome to The Explainer, where we break down big ideas.
So, today we are diving into Robert Greene's hugely controversial classic, The 48 Laws of Power. What's the deal with this book? Is it a cynical guide for becoming a tyrant, or is it a pragmatic masterclass in just surviving? Now, we're not going to go through all 48 laws, don't worry, but we are going to pull apart a few key themes to really get the core philosophy and figure out why this book is still so talked about. Let's be clear. Our goal here isn't to endorse these tactics, because a lot of them are pretty ruthless. It's to understand them. So let's get into it.
Okay, so to really get these laws, first we have to get our heads around the book's fundamental worldview. And, well, it's pretty brutal. This is the foundation that everything else is built on.
Greene, and he's totally channeling Machiavelli here, basically argues that the world of power is a game, and a moral game. It's a constant struggle, and here's the kicker. You can't just decide not to play. That doesn't make you safe. His point is that you have to understand these rules, whether you're trying to climb the ladder or just trying to protect yourself from the people who are.
Okay, with that pretty intense worldview in mind, let's explore the first huge theme, mastering perception. Because, according to Greene, your reputation isn't just a part of the game, it is the absolute cornerstone of all your power.
And this is the perfect way to think about it. Your reputation is literally the lens, the filter, that every single thing you do gets passed through. If you have a strong one, it's like a magnifying glass for your successes, and it blurs out your failures. A weak one, it does the exact opposite. The very same action can be called brilliant or a total disaster, all depending on the reputation of the person who did it.
These two stories from history just nail this point. On one hand, you have Mitsu Shaya. He literally breaks the law, but his reputation was so squeaky clean, the ruler just saw it as a son doing what he had to do. Then you've got Lola Montez. She was already known for her wild temper, so when she acted out, people saw it as unforgivable. It completely destroyed her. See, totally different outcomes, and it all came down to reputation.
So building on that idea of perception, our next theme is about controlling your value. And it's not by what you do, but by what you don't do. It's about knowing when to strategically just disappear.
This law is basically economics 101, right? Supply and demand. If you're always around, always available, you become common. But if you make yourself scarce, your perceived value shoots up. You create this aura of desirability. You know, think of that mysterious celebrity who almost never gives interviews. When they finally show up, it's a massive event. People start wondering about you, and your presence becomes something they actually look forward to.
And here's the real kicker. You can create this scarcity yourself. You don't have to wait for people to miss you. You can manufacture it. You create this kind of death before death. By stepping back for a little while, your return feels like a huge deal. A powerful way to make people see you in a new light and appreciate you all over again.
All right, now let's get into the art of baiting your opponents. This is about forcing them to play on your terms, making them react while you control the entire board.
Oh, this is a great story. The architect Brunelleschi played this perfectly. So he gets hired for this massive project, but then he's forced to work with a rival he knows is totally incompetent. So what does he do? He doesn't argue, he doesn't protest, nope. He just gets sick and steps away. He let his rival fail on his own, forcing the city officials to realize they were lost without him. They had to come crawling back, begging him to return, which gave him all the power and all the credit.
In this image, the honeyed bear trap, it's the perfect way to think about it. You want to be the hunter, not the one being chased. Don't waste your energy running after people. Instead, you set the bait. Maybe it's a sweet deal, maybe it's a provocative idea, and you wait for them to come right to you.
All right, for our final theme, we're hitting what Greene thinks is maybe the ultimate law of power, mastering the long game. This is about having absolute clarity and always, always planning to the end.
And if you want a masterclass in this, look no further than Otto von Bismarck. The man wasn't just reacting to things. He had a crystal clear end goal, a unified Germany, and every single move was a step toward it. He provokes a war with Austria, wins fast, and then stops his armies. Why? Because he knew he might need Austria as an ally later on. He pokes France into declaring war because he knew that was the only way to get the southern German states on his side. It was all a giant chess game, and he already knew what the checkmate looked like.
And that's really what it comes down to. Most of us are just lost in the moment, trying to figure out the next turn in the maze. Real power, Greene argues, comes from being able to see the end of that maze from the very beginning. It's not about just winning today's battle. It's about knowing how that battle helps you win the entire war. When you plan to the end, nothing surprises you because you've already thought it through.
So after all this, what are we supposed to think? Well, the book presents these laws as just timeless principles of how people work. They're tools. Think about it. A hammer isn't good or evil. It's just a hammer.
You can use that hammer to build a house, or you can use it to tear one down. The choice isn't in the tool, it's in the person who's holding it. And that leaves us with the final big question. Now that you know about these tools, what will you do?